You know how amazing the whiskey community is, from dram swaps, virtual tastings and all sorts of shenanigans. This is the cherry on top. I managed to get hold of a whiskey that sat well and truly at the top of my dream whiskey list.
That's good, good for you.
I've often placed Glengyle as my favourite distillery, and this bottle could be the favourite from their range. That's right, I'm talking about my white whale, even if it's a bit more pink in colour. The Kilkerran, turn that a bit. The Kilkerran 8-year-old Cask Strength Port Maturation. Let's see if it hits the high hopes or leaves me crashing in disappointment.
Seriously, please be good.
Welcome back to Jeff Whisky. I'm Jeff. This is Whiskey. Let's crack on. Jeff Whisky. First off, it feels like it's been a lifetime since I filmed anything. This is filmed long after I did the V-Pub takeover, so thank you all for joining me for that. The lighting's a bit different. I'm still trying to work it out. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's worse. Let me know. I'm still very much winging this, and I'm rusty as ever, so do bear with me.
I think it looks nice, right?
I've got to raise a glass, currently empty, to Matthew. He got in touch with me over the CEO's Discord group, which is just full of the kindest whiskey folk, and he said he had a spare bottle of it.
A blessing from the Lord. God be praised.
And while I would have happily given him a kidney for it, I paid the RRP, and I think with postage it was probably just under that in the end. But when this arrived through the door, it was like Christmas. And as soon as I finished work that day, the little film was peeled off, the cork was popped, and it was one of the whiskies that I wasn't going to wait for. I've tried a few samples in the past, and I'm someone who tends to try taper their hopes, as I've been burned before.
That's what you have to do. Keep your expectations low.
And I sit down with this, possibly the first time I've actually sat down in depth and analysed this. This has just been one that I've grabbed, thinking I fancy a dram in the evening, I've grabbed this one. So let's sit down with it properly, give it a full review, and firstly, let's talk about experience. I know I gave the Kilkerran 12 a top score at 6 out of 6 Jeffs on experience back in November 2021. All in all, the experience, 6 out of 6. Brilliant. But I was a different man back then. Slimmer, no sunglasses. What even is that shirt? Disgusting.
Disgusting!
And in fact, this bottle is a lot better in terms of experience. I love that it's now the more squat bottle. It's got that soft purple on the text. Not to mention that beautiful, stunning, natural pinky colour liquid. The illustration in their branding is fantastic. Thick, bold lines are great, but in comparison to some other bottles, overall, I feel like the design standard has been raised a lot higher. Maybe I've also just got a bit more grumpy in my old age, but I'm going to give this a very high 5.9 Jeffs, which I will have to round down to a 5 out of 6.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
I've almost forgot, I got to give it a little slap. Blame the heat in this room. Not bad at all. Don't know if the camera pick it up, but look at all that floating sediment in there. That's amazing. Tell you what, that's tough going, slapping in such heat.
Hey Jeff and everyone out there. Welcome to Scotch on the Bayou. I'm Leanne, and we do love some Scotch here at the camp. Like doing my reviews, my camp drams here on the Lower Grand River in South Louisiana. And I do love me some Brook Lottie. Oh, we're a little buggy. It's the summer. It's hotter than hell, but that's okay. It's never too hot for some Scotch. Oh, got him. Classic Laddie. Gotta love it. Slanger, y'all.
Either way, I've waffled on long enough. Let's get this poured and let's get sniffing. Oh, straight away I'm getting jam donuts that have kind of been burnt and lots of powdered sugar.
It's beer and a ton of powdered donuts. It's powerful, yeah! Powdered sugar!
Getting like fried mushrooms, like that slightly rubbery smell. Yeah, the funk's definitely there. It's like a little farmy hay kind of smell, bit muddy, dirty. It's the first time I've gotten this, but it's like this fresh orange zest kind of like plasticky orange smell coming through. Like a ripe orange that has been over squeezed by sellotape.
With all the shiny colours and the liquid white.
These notes are just completely gone off the rails. I'm getting like more fruits. There's like strawberries, which is one of my favourite notes to get. I often find that in like younger spirits from SDR casks. There's also like raspberries, blackberries, like hedgerows in the sun kind of smell. To top it all off, there's like this smoky barbecue residue smell. So maybe not like the meat itself, but you know when you do like a late night snack, you do an online whiskey tasting, you fancy a bacon sandwich, you chuck all 6 rashers into the pan, you fry it up, lots of ketchup, all that, and then you decide not to wash out the pan and see it as tomorrow's job. It's like how that pan smells.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about?
That kind of oily, fatty, festering fry up.
You sound insane.
Not a true story. Tell you what, I feel like I could spend all day just like sniffing this and pulling out these stupid, ludicrous notes. There's no question, on the nose, this is getting a 6. Right, I'm now gagging to drink it now. Let's get to the taste. Cheers. That first sip has thrown me. It's like a mixture of super syrupy Vimto and then the HP brown sauce. There's the heavier fruits that I was expecting, like red berries, slightly sharp, slightly tart. Maybe like raspberries, and you know when you feel like your kind of tongue curls up a bit?
It was just his tongue coming in and out like this.
There's like a lovely fruitiness, fizziness, like Haribo Tangabastics, and that thick, sweet texture. It's just reminding me of like really saucy barbecue ribs. Maybe also like a bit of duck and plum sauce. This is actually really reminding me of the Edredor Signatory release. Is it 12 yards? I can't remember. I've done a review of it, so it's up there. Yeah, it's really taken me back to something I can't remember. I'm getting like a burst of like burnt barbecue pineapple at the end. And each sip just like touches your soul. Probably the most pompous thing I've ever said.
So opinionated. So pompous and arrogant.
Like it's a really dirty whiskey, but without any of that like sulfuric gunpowder like nastiness. I know some people like that kind of sherry lead sulfur, but for me, I'm glad this hasn't got it, because this is just...
How do you spell that?
Yeah, there's like salty meats, really just like tender, fall off the bone stuff. I'm getting like a tiny bit of menthol, like possibly that's just like the higher ABV, but it's kind of what I tend to find in more like rye whiskies. But I'll be honest, this is just so damn good. I hope to provide like a twist in this review and be like, actually, I was really excited for it and it was my hopes that got up too high and I've been dashed and I want to be like realistic, but this bottle has just blown me away today. Yeah, this has just massively surpassed my expectations, from having samples probably a year ago now to all the times I've kind of just sat down with a glass while doing other things, not necessarily thought too much. This is just really hitting out of the park. I cannot fault it at all in any way. It's gonna have to be another massive 6 out of 6 Jeffs. Okay, that's enough of that full on praise. Let's talk money and get to the value. It's a 6 out of 6, nothing else to say. It's a whiskey that at retail just costs slightly under £50, and it just punches well beyond that price tag. It's an 8-year-old age statement, so it is, you know, slightly on the younger side of age statements, but it's still an age on the front. But it's released at Cask Strength, a whopping 57.9%, which you couldn't tell while drinking it. Fully port matured, and it's just presented all natural. I've been watching it on auctions, and I saw it's now kind of hitting around the £70-80, which I think is a fair price. But at the £50 this came out, it's a steal. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it flew off the shelves.
I'm trying to find a
Bottle of Kilkerran.
Me too. Do you have any more in the bag?
I feel bad in a way praising it so highly, because I think it is now completely unable to get. There will be more like amazing Kilkerrans coming out. All this brings in the Kilkerran 8-year-old port cask coming in at a ridiculously high 23 out of 24 Jeffs. Like, that's pretty much perfect. But let me know if you think there's anything that could beat that. A massive thanks for watching. Cheers to the wonderful members on my channel. And if you want, you can support this channel by doing the whole liking, subscribing, all that YouTube guff. I've also got some coasters and making other Jeff Whisky junk if you're interested. But all that's left to say is all the best and cheers to the next one. That is delicious.